Good day, cricket fans, and welcome back to the IslandStats.com Cricket Show. It's Sunday, which means it's time to dive deep into all the action from the local pitches right here in Bermuda. We'll be dissecting the weekend's clashes, celebrating standout performances, and looking ahead to what's next in the 2025 season. Whether you were at the grounds or following online, we've got all the angles covered. So grab your coffee, settle in, and let's talk cricket. Well, good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to this edition of the Island Stats Cricket Show, July 27th. We are just a few days away from the annual Cup Match Classic. I'm your host, Earl Baisden, joining your co-hosts, Terry Frey and Andre Doc Manders, both gentlemen have featured in the classic, and it's time to talk the teams. Obviously, we want to keep an update on the Colts Cup match that is going on at Wellington Oval. Currently, St. George's won the toss. They went to bat. They scored 334 for 6, and at present, Somerset are 121 for 3, with only about half hour to play in that match. As the game generally finishes at 7:30. But let's take a look at the two teams that were selected last night for the champions, the cup holders. Terran Frey, captain. Dominique Sabir, vice captain. Kamal Levrock, Trey Manders, Dion Stovall, Malachi Jones, Derek Bringman, McQuail Walker, and then you have a Colt, Sarai Tomlinson, Alex Dorr, and Dalen Richardson, 3 Colts in the Somerset team. For the St. George's team, it's going to be led by Sinclair Smith. Mackay Simmons, former captain, is vice captain. Jonte Smith, Nazari Painter, Delray Rollins, Zico Burgess, Onias Bascom, Colt Luke Horan, Colt Isaiah O'Brien, Marcus Scotland, and Kevin Fubler. Gentlemen, those are the teams for the 2025 edition of the Cup Match Classic. I'm going to start with you, Doc, as a former skipper, and we are hopefully going to be joined by the captains later on this evening, at 7:30, around 7:30, to join in on the conversation. But Doc, as a former captain of the Somerset Cricket Club, what goes through the process of picking a team from the inside? You can see it now.
Hey, trust me, it's everybody thinks I can tell you now, all the captains flying hard because you can't. It's 22 players out there, and only 11 could play. And of course, the reserves is just as important, at cup match time too, because most of the time somebody gets hurt, it's hot those 2 days, so there's reserves you pick. It's got to be important too. But yeah, it's not only the captain that's involved. You have the selection committee, you have the chairman, but the captain most of the time, I would say about maybe 50 to 60% of the time will get his team. If not, that's when the debate would start, because most of the time there's always somebody that wants a different player. They see a different view. So, and when you pick a team, you always got to look at everybody's view. You got when I was captain, we didn't have the trophy, so we had to try to pick a team that could win. But now with Terran's situation, he's got a team that's won for the last 8 to 10 years, and they're doing extremely well. So I want to still say it's still difficult picking, because you had a lot of guys that was informed this year. They had to look at, and then of course you had some other little teething problems. So, but still, it's not easy, for any captain, and you gotta give kudos to some of the captains that for cup match, because that you go in 7 o'clock or whatever time. Sometimes you don't come out to 11:30, 12 o'clock.
Right.
And it's back and forth situations. You will go eat some food, come back, and and there's a process where everybody's got to be on the same page. And then, but I know when I was captain, like when you done it, you had to present the team to the members, like and to the president.
Right.
So when the team is picked, once our team is picked, it's still not the final team. Once we go in, you present it to the members and the president, and then people would pick at things, and then if they ain't too pleased, or everybody's not too pleased, sometimes you just have to go back and pick another team. But eventually, I mean, when I was captain, I don't think that never happened. But there's always people that always nitpick at things. But it is a long, tedious process, and it's good to have good selection guys that are there to watch the game, that know about cricket, and then watch the season too. Because sometimes, and I'm sure Terry will tell you this too, when we play a cup matches and have 5 trials.
Yeah.
Now you just play 1 or 2, and you're kind of ends, like, and that, to me, they need to. Well, then again, there's so much cricket playing. It's really, really hard to do that. You got the Eastern Conference, you got Western Conference, you got Central Conference, but back then, if you didn't play 4 or 5 trials, you're not going to be playing. That was the rule. You had to play at least 4 or 5 trials.
Right.
So now it's you could play 1 trial, make runs, and you're in. So what has the guys done? What has the person or done before that? So it's a lot different now. But it's still a tedious process picking that team.
Sure. Now, Terry, there's always a lot of people around on the night that the team gets picked. But as a player and a potential person getting into the team, what was that like for you? Because you're sitting there, you've done all the work, you've done everything that had to be done, you've played the amount of trial matches, you've scored the amount of runs, you've done everything, but it's in somebody else's hands. What do you emotionally go through as a player?
Well, yeah, I mean, playing and having so much passion, you're like you're on pins and needles, But I if I recall, I just try to preoccupy my time with France, and try to do something positive while all that was being, taking place. It's nerve-wracking. It's definitely nerve-wracking, until such time that your name is called or it's not called,
Right.
But yeah, it is something that most, I guess, all the players will go through, even the seasoned ones, because at the end of the day, it's in somebody else's hands.
Yes.
And if you got 5 people involved in the selection committee, it can be 5 different views.
That's it.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So, but yeah, it's definitely nerve-wracking for sure.
Yeah. So let me ask you, Terry, were you more nervous the day that you played, the first morning you played, or last year when Taryn became skipper?
I'm always nervous when Taryn. And I will say this: I think I'm more nervous for him than I was for myself.
Well, you can control what you do. You can control what you do, but you can't control everything he does.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And that makes it worse.
Yeah.
You're right. You're on point there.
Yeah.
So same thing for you, Doc. I mean, were you more nervous when you first played or when seeing Trey go out there and play?
I'm just like Terry, man. I'm more nervous for them because Terry can tell you, you watch your child grow up. You're out in the backyard throwing balls at them, and he's hitting you on the plays, and they want to be like that daddy. You know what I mean? To play cup match and So you got to get them in the right frame of mind first of all, right? You know what I mean? And the thing about it, me giving him throw balls or his uncles, whoever, in the backyard and all that there, doesn't mean like he's still gonna want to like cricket or he wants to go that way. You know what I mean? So I basically let him decide what he want to do. But then like once I saw him start hitting the ball all the plays and playing, I said, this guy, he's got a good chance. He can play cup match. You go always tell, but you still have to still like give him the main, cup match is you got to remember, like, cup match is played on the field. Thousands of people watching. You know,
Yeah.
you got to get prepared mentally. This what they do before, what they eat, drink a lot of water. One thing with Trey now, he drinks a lot of water. He starts during he drinks a lot of water anyway because there's 2 days are hot, man.
Right.
You just think you would just go, oh, I'm gonna have to go up there and try and play cup. You get out there that first day and you only feel for about 5-6 hours, and then you got to go back. I can tell you, it's mentally you have to be prepared. So I just got him in the right frame of mind. Even when I had him, start using the hard ball and stuff, you have to make sure that they have the proper equipment. I bought them all that, trust, pay it, everything. And then, after they got a certain age, the time on the end. And what was good about me, I had like I wasn't the only one who was coaching. Like Arnold was coaching for a bit, and then he came up through, other teams, which the coaching, just played for other teams. What I didn't see, maybe what they picked up. So it's a nice process, and like Terry said, you get nervous, man, because you can't control it. Like, what I mean? But match their first ball, like especially in their first couple of years, man, it's nerve. And Terry Taryn and Trey came in almost around the same time. Those guys are young, so there's a lot of pressure on them. It was a lot of pressure at those guys at the time. The sledging and this and that. So it's one of the. That's why I told him mentally you got to put all that stuff on. When I played, I had the same thing, man. Charlie Marshall. But if I tell you the name Charlie Marshall called me, I can't even use it on here. I'm telling you, and I've got friends.
Right.
But, during cup match you get all type of name, but after the game, well, cool. But it's some of these things are like personal. I say, hey man, you're just basically my friend, But it's not only Charlie, it was a few other guys in the team. But after the game, you drink and we talk about it and you laugh. But that's all they're trying to do is just get in your head, And sometimes that works with new players. I'm seeing that, I'm seeing that work in a lot of young players coming. I always want the young players, the guys came in after me, care about the selection, because these guys, even if they selection, they don't really mean it. They don't care how you get you out. If you're a good player, they're gonna try any means to get you out. You go out there and try to pet down the wicket sometimes. These guys even try to do that. You gotta be, you gotta be very and do the pickle steed there when guys if you're a good batsman, these guys should try everything. So you gotta be mentally prepared every time you go out there. That's all. That's the only thing I let him know, that you got to get ready early, and it just don't start 2 weeks before, it's the season, And before I finish, let me show you 1 year I play a cup match. All right. I had made no runs before. I mean, like I couldn't know I could make 10 runs leading right up to cup match. But the year before I made runs, I was in form, and I made runs cup match too. But it's just that I couldn't, so you know what I done? I said, I'm gonna put that I'm gonna put that behind me, and I'm gonna concentrate on, just concentrate on what I done last year in cup match, and then I went out there and still made runs. And when you look, I played 15 years straight. So it could be a time where you're not making runs during the season, and then cup match. Some guys are big day. Some guys could make runs all season. And then cup match come in and make no runs, and I'm seeing a lot of that too. So it all depends on there's 2 days. So it's entirely up to the person themselves.
Yeah. Right. I mean, if you look at some players in both teams this year have been struggling, but now's the time to turn on, kind of thing. They've had periods in the season where they've made runs, and then they've it's died off, and now they're back making runs and so forth. But what we're going to do, we're going to take a commercial break, because when I come back, Terry, I'm going to ask you, or think about this. Are you surprised with the St. George's team and the inclusions as well as the Somerset team? And both you and Doc will get into that. But we're going to take a commercial break, and when we come back, we'll talk about the two teams themselves. We'll be right back.
You ever crack open a Coke and just... perfect.
It's that cold, classic hit that never lets you down.
Whether you're chilling with friends or just need a break, you can't go wrong with Coca-Cola.
Coca-Cola.
Nothing else compares.
Proudly distributed by Butterfield and Vallis.
Planning a summer get-together? Start with Barrett's Mixers. From club soda to tonic water and everything in between, Whether it's a backyard barbecue or a beachside picnic, Barrett's has the perfect mix for your summertime drinks. Stock up, cool down, and mix it your way. Available now at Lindo's, distributed by John Barrett & Sons. Lindo's. Why go anyplace else?
Beneath the cloud blue sky, where the ocean meets the land, and the long tails fly in Bermuda. Our hearts belong to this beautiful island. As an island, we are strong, proudly Bermudian. In every single way, from the sunrise to the sunset, and every single day, for over 135 years, it's been clear, British Islands proudly Bermudian, bringing us near. Cause we are proudly Bermudian. British Islands proudly Bermudian. British Islands proudly Bermudian.
And welcome back. Well, just a quick update from the Wellington Oval. Somerset are now 154 for 3, chasing down 334. But only a few minutes left in the match as it come to an end at 7:30. So
I think it just finished, Earl.
Oh, okay.
I got word it just finished. I think it ended up 154 for 3.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wicket. Okay. All right. Okay. Terry, before going out, I did say St. George's, but I actually meant Somerset. The Somerset team, looking at it, they brought in 3 coats. They dropped Stephen Bremer, young Proctor, and obviously LJ was injured. But are you surprised? What surprised you most about Somerset's team, Terry?
That they will take 3 coats to St. George's. Yeah. I just, when you're going into, when you're playing away from home, with the 3 coats, I mean, it may work out well for them. I'm sure it will. But they were forced to make 1 change in LJ. And then, of course, they felt that maybe Bremer weren't up to par this season, and they bring in a youngster. But I'm thinking that Somerset had done that for future building, because Somerset's team is now aging, so to speak. So I guess they're looking beyond this cup match, and bringing in 3 youngsters in hope that they will do well for the long term. But it is unusual to take, the champions to take 3 coats to the opposing team's venue.
Doc, what surprised you about Somerset's team?
Well, the first thing, like Terry said, normally that when you're bringing in a coach, you normally try to play at your home field, so they could have the home fans behind them, and basically the wicket because you're playing on the last trial. Right. But looking at the coach that they brought in, these guys are experienced players. When I say experience, I mean they played a lot of cricket, especially Alex Dewar and Dylan Richardson. He's been trying for years at Somerset, and now his end, of course, Tomlinson. And because Tomlinson has been playing in England a lot, and he's got a very good technique. He got runs today too. So at least his, I don't know if that's a cup match wicket, but at least he's batted on the wicket. So if you think about it, his got an upper hand on some of the batsmen or some of the Somerset players already because he's played there.
Right.
But it's still, normally that's like you said, Somerset is definitely building for the future. Yeah. They've gotten some guys that are in the next year or maybe year after, they're probably looking to, to go to the team. So, and you got to gradually ease these guys in. You can't, sometimes you can't make too many changes. You make 3 or 4 chances, you know, you're taking the balance of the team, the camaraderie of the guys that have been together. This team that they had, no, these guys have been together like 8 to 10 years. Like you said, one had to go out. LJ, he got hurt, so that you know, so you got one player in. Like Irma's situation, I don't know if it's, you know, I guess it's been struggling with runs, and you know, so I guess they felt that the guy Tomlinson is, you know, it's a pretty good wicket keep too, and it's been making runs, and it's young, so maybe they're thinking of bringing him in now. You know what I mean? So it's one of those things where, like, you know, they're going for probably the most informed batsman, and like I said, Dylan's been making runs, and Alex Stewart too. So you know, it's hard, man. You know, like I said, you know, I'm been before. It's hard picking a team because you have to look at everything, and I'm sure there's guys that talked about bringing those guys, playing those guys in St. George's, but like you said, one of them was definite anyway because LJ was out.
Right.
But let's hope that, you know, that I'm just hoping that the whole 3 of them perform. You know, it's 2 days, and that's one thing that you tell me when you come in. That's when I first told Trey. You remember, it's 2 days of cricket.
Okay.
The first day you might not be. The second day you know, if you didn't make runs the first day, you didn't get mixed. The second day you have to come. You have to come. You know, you got to make runs. One of those days you got to do something. It's 2 days of cricket. You know.
I thought that, another surprise there too was and it had to be debated there. Quite some time was the omission of Proctor.
Yes.
Yeah.
Wow. I you know, I was up to the field and I saw, you know, I saw some of his I saw in the game where, you know, like he had a little, I don't know, a misunderstanding. He dropped the catch, you know, and then after that, he seemed like he had some type of attitude. I don't know if the attitude was towards the Somerset fans who was, you know, on them. They were shouting out to him, you know, because, you know, as a youngster, you if you drop a catch, at least you acknowledge the bowler. Like he just turned around and just threw the ball, like, you know. But you know, you drop a catch, you gotta be like, look, put your hands up, acknowledge the bowler, you know, or do something. But then, okay, he dropped it, no problem. You drop catches, but then you go into the field, and I think, like, you know, he was on the boundary. Well, I didn't see that particular incident. Somebody said he was eating something, and Taryn was trying to call him. It was something that was going on there. All I saw 2 minutes later that he went off the field and never came back. So, you know, for the youngsters, you can't. Everybody's watching you. Could you imagine that, like, cup match, you drop the catch, and then, you know, you don't want to be like, you drop a catch and then they're moving you from place to place. You know what I mean? You have to be ready. If everybody keeps saying, oh, it's a 3-point man. Okay, 3-point man is bowling, batting, and fielding. Fielding is the most important thing. You know what I mean? So he was misfielding a few balls. He just didn't look like he was in it to me, and I didn't know what was going on. So I'm not really surprised that. Well, I'm kind of surprised that they dropped him, but I'm surprised that for a youngster like that that's in the team, why would you, like, you know, come on, like, so it. From what I gather, some fans were angry that it got dropped, and some fans said he deserved it. So, hey, you know, that the earnest was on him, mate. Yeah. From what I saw, I didn't particularly like his attitude yesterday. That's my personal opinion too.
Like I said, I figured that something was up with that, because, like, he's a homegrown player.
Yes,
exactly.
And if they're building a future, then he should be part of that future. But you know, here we go again. You know, where, you know, if there is some type of discipline problem going on there, then I can see a decision being made like that. You know, I wasn't there. This is the first time I heard you saying that, Doc.
Well, I personally saw that, right? But then like I said, I knew, like, listened to Gennaro last night on the thing. They said it was some disciplinary thing, and that was the first thing that came to my mind, because as a former captain, like, you don't like to see things like that in the final trial, like you're moving. Terrence got to move him to her. They got to try to move him over this side, because he was talking to the crowd, and, you know, like, and then people, and look, it was people shouting way over the other side, and I heard some abuse thrown to him too. So as a young player, that's, you know, he probably didn't like that, but you got to remember, cup match, sometimes you get much more abuse than that, man. So, and they're only trying to say that to him so he could like, look, this is part of the game. Like you can't have an attitude. Nobody else like that. Even these senior guys, nobody else had attitudes like that. Not like that. Yeah, see, everybody was like, into the game, all trying to make cup match, man. Like, this was probably one of the hardest teams to pick for turn because you had so much guys in form, so much guys that could have came in, but it's the balance of the teams. Like you can't make too many changes, man. Like, everybody's complaining because Amori and didn't play Amori Eben, and he batted well yesterday too. Like, and the thing about us, I was like, oh, who can who can he come in for? It's like some people say, oh, well, you got to drop Trey and bring in Amari. This was the talk that was going around, like drop. But then if you drop Trey, you're taking another nucleus of the guy that was in the team. That's so it was so much talk, but like sometimes it's on people's mind. Then like even Douglas had a good Deontay Darrell played well. Yes, he got runs and wickets. He looked, and one thing I got to give kudos to Deontay yesterday, man. He gave you 100% yesterday, man. He burrowed that he was on the field, and he wanted to play. Whereas if you look at his attitude to Proctor's attitude, it was night and day. Night and day, man. And if Proctor would have shared that, the boy would have still been playing, man. That's my personal opinion, anyway.
Right. Yeah.
It's unfortunate.
Yeah.
Maybe we should get him in our program.
yeah, exactly. Yeah. But Terrence, these guys, man, like apparently, like no, this one I heard again too. During the season, he didn't train or something, and they had some other type of issues with him too. So, the guy's a very talented player, man. But it's not all about bowling and batting. Prime example, the guy Sabert yesterday, he scored a beautiful 100. He stayed there and went to bet. He watched the ball. He played himself in. And Sabert has been struggling for runs this year. Tarrant the same way, struggling for runs. I saw those two guys bet yesterday, mate. I said, these guys are both ready. Like, Tarrant took his time. Both of them took their time. They just watched, And when you look, they was in, making some beautiful shots. But I'm just curious to show you, like, those guys were kind of, not making runs. But look at them now. Like, right before the cup match, he scores 100 now, though. Tarrant probably would have got 100, but he gave up his bet to give somebody else a hit. And so it just goes to show you, like, you can easily get informed if you just put the effort in. Like those two, really, they just took the time and grabbed. We have the trophy. You don't have to go out there and bang the ball around. Like some people said, like, I heard a lot of spectators yesterday, why hit the ball? Like I'm like, why should we? Why should we do that when we have the trophy? Like, take your time. And let me show you something. Well, those guys started off slow yesterday. They made up in the end.
Right.
The scoring rate picked up way to the end. I mean, like. And people don't realize that there, but I was glad to see those two guys bet yesterday, and that's your captain and vice captain.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, what we're gonna do is we're gonna take our second commercial break because we're gonna be joined by the St. George's Cricket Club cup match captain Sinclair Smith after the break. We'll be right back.
Planning a summer get-together? Start with Barrett's Mixers. From club soda to tonic water and everything in between. Whether it's a backyard barbecue or a beachside picnic, Barrett's has the perfect mix for your summertime drinks. Stock up, cool down, and mix it your way. Available now at Lindo's, distributed by John Barrett & Sons. Lindo's, why go anyplace else?
The pink sands beneath the clear blue sky, where the ocean meets the land, and the long tails fly in Bermuda. Our hearts belong to this beautiful island. As an island, we are strong, proudly Bermudian. In every single way, from the sunrise to the sunset, and every single day, for over 130
crack open a Coke and just... perfect.
It's that cold, classic hit that never lets you down.
Whether you're chilling with friends or just need a break, you can't go wrong with Coca-Cola.
Coca-Cola.
Nothing else compares.
Proudly distributed by Butterfield and Vallis.
And welcome back. Well, we want to welcome in St. George's Cricket Club captain Sinclair Smith. First of all, thank you, Sinclair, for joining us this evening.
No problem at all.
Hey, congrats to your son for your captaincy.
Yes.
Thanks,
Yeah.
Coach. Appreciate it, man.
Yeah, mate.
Same as think. Well done, man.
When you're looking at these 2 days, you've had the opportunity of being selected and wicket keeping and so forth. But now it's a different. You're looking at it from a different view, as in a leadership role. What has the transition been like for you?
I'll say with myself, it's a bit more responsibility as far as making the decision. I think I'm always been kind of in a leadership role, being the wicketkeeper. I know a lot of these skippers I'm worked with, Mr. Freya Santaran, Nias when he was down St. George's as well. I'm always been a senior leader on the team as far as input, field settings and things like that. So I guess now, instead of me, having to have an opinion, I kind of can action some of my thoughts, with input from others. But I guess it's more under my belt, more responsibility. Like, I feel like I'm responsible, for 10 players' performance, kind of putting those guys in the best position to win, So I would say that's the extra comes with it. Me worrying about the performance of others, per se, making sure I'm making, my team in the best space possible.
Right. And how have you handled that in the league? And you take that into the 2 days.
With the league, I know good bit of the team is comprised of some of my league players as well. So it's very receptive. We have very open dialogue. And I think the ones that have came into the team as well from cup match from the other clubs, I have a good relationship with, and pretty good communication. So I think over the 2 days, I don't see no issues where it's a planning aspect. It's more so the implementation and execution over those 2 days. As with the sun, tired minds, things can kind of go awry. So I guess it's my job as the keeper, having that insight on the field, and as well as kind of being a motivator in the background as well. With the youngsters coming into the team, just looking to put them in the best positions possible. Yeah, man, it's more so a collective effort. I would think, I do have a bit more responsibility, but I would say my support system around me from players and coaching has been pretty good this year, I must say. Senior players as well.
Good stuff. All the best. Terry, you got anything for Cindy?
Well, I know Cindy. I'm Coach Cindy. I've been around him. Just continue on being level. You're in the best position on the field to make those calls. Behind the wicket there. So you see the whole field. You know what I mean? And you just be proactive. And like you have always been. I watch you captain the league team, and how proactive you are. You're not reactive. So you continue in that light, man. And I wish you all the best.
Appreciate it. Thank you, Mr. Frey.
Yeah.
Doc?
Yeah. I'm seeing, well, that was a good point you made too, Cindy, about, and I'm seeing when you've been helping, man, Nias was captain. I'm seeing you in the national team too. And you're helping turn out, because you're wicket keep, and you could see things. And one thing I like about you, you're always involved, in the game. So even if the team's losing, I always see you trying to hype up people. So that's good. I'm glad you brought up that, because that was one of the things I noticed about it. So that's going to make your transition a lot easier, mate, because it's not like, so you got some big keepers just stand behind the stumps, like, they might just tell the slips move, but I see you're looking at everybody, which is good. And I'm going to tell you one thing now. I know you're not been getting no runs. Don't worry about that. Let me show you something. I just told those guys, I just talked about it. I remember one year I played a cup match. I hadn't scored no runs. Listen to me. I couldn't even get 10 runs, mate. And the day of cup match, it's just a different ball game. And you play a cup match before. So don't worry about your league form. Trust me. It's on the day. And anything can happen in cup match, and I guarantee you probably go out there, you make runs cup match. So that's what's a lot of things what I don't like about people who like like going up to cup match, like, oh, you ain't getting no runs. But I'm seeing guys that make runs all through the year, and then cup match, you don't make no runs. So it's vice versa. So what I'm trying to tell you, don't put no pressure on that way. And I think you do a pretty good job. But I know you're going to do a good job captaining the team, but you're still not going to be Somerset, though.
You had to throw that in, Doc.
It wouldn't be right if he did it, man. It wouldn't be right if he did it.
And I say that because it always rains down St. George's, and one of these days it always rains, so it hurls up. It just, I don't know, but I just hope and pray that we don't get no rain, so it's a good 2 days of cup match, man. And like I said, I know from seeing you over the years and stuff, I know you can handle captaincy, man.
Yeah, man, for sure.
Yeah.
And you got Mackay, who's a vice captain, who's a person that that's been captain before behind you. So and his type of person, like he gives you 100% anyway. So that's cool too.
Yeah. Cindy, take us through, because everybody always dreams of playing the highest event in their sport, no matter what it is, and cup match will be one for cricketers. Take us through how mentally you went through as a young person before you played. What were some of the dreams, visions, and what you wanted to, who you wanted to emulate, and all of that type of stuff.
All right. Well, being a St. George's boy, through and through, I've been getting cup match since building a spot with 2x4, before the scaffold was involved.
Yes.
With me, I would say guys like, Glenn Blakeney was always a favorite of mine, batsman. Dean Miners, those type of guys inspired me. I know Doc probably got tired of, seeing us run on the field during the 90s at some time. But no, there's I would say there's type of players kind of growing up in St. George's, and then growing up top square as well. You have a good cricket foundation up there. You got Herbie Bascom, you had Jason Allison. Then you have a lot of youngsters like ourselves coming through. So I think it was more so a community thing for me, and now kind of being in this position again, like I've kind of been telling people, you dream of it as a youngster, but a lot of things kind of have to be in place for it to happen. Cup matches, a select few that get picked, and then if skippers, most of the time it's from the league team. If not, it's a lot of trust and things there. So to kind of be gifted this opportunity, it's always a childhood dream come true.
Right.
And to kind of have, the community backing, and like you said, Mackay, that's been my best friend since like 4 years old. So to kind of have him behind me and kind of us going through this journey together, it's been a learning experience and a good experience at the same time,
Good stuff.
Yeah, definitely. What would be the emotion walking out on that field, leading the team on that Thursday morning?
Yeah, you probably won't know to experience it, but I'm sure it'll be nerves, being at the home crowd, it will be that extra environment, that extra anticipation. Especially it's been a long time down St. George's, so the fans are hungry. So for me, it's kind of to remain humble. Don't get caught up in the emotions as much. Kind of stick to my good plan, and kind of trust my thinking, trust my think tank around me. That's my thing going into cup matches, to kind of stay level throughout the 2 days, because see enough times how emotions and things like that can kind of hinder or improve a performance. So it's kind of to stay at that level base from there.
Yeah.
And furthermore, you got some senior players behind you. You got the old skipper Onias and Delray too. So you could always, fall back on those guys too. So it's nice to have senior players around you too.
Yeah, and then that's what I say. It's a good, strong base, and we have good communication. Like a lot of us play at the national squad together and things like that as well. So yeah, it's kind of, like I said, kind of made my job a bit easy. At times you have to deal with certain conflicts, things like that, as all cricket teams do. But I feel the guys I hear of those 10 guys will be backing me throughout the 2 days, and I just hope to put them in the best position to succeed.
Yeah, man. Well done.
Hey, can I got one more question for you? See, I know you're pleased. I'm pleased. I'm pleased with you guys as coach, Isaiah, O'Brien, and Luke. So there's two guys there. Are definitely on form. Getting wickets and making runs too. So that's going to balance your team off a lot better too. But my only thing is you guys got to just stick to keeping these younger guys in the team. Like I'm just saying, just like one or two on field this year, or then getting a run to the wicket. Sometimes you still have to stick with these guys because they're young, and the thing about it, you gotta build a team, so you gotta keep those guys, playing, man. That's why Somerset's so successful now, and those two guys, I'm gonna tell you, they got a lot of talent. So it's good to see those two guys. People want to come out and watch a good game. I don't care.
100%.
Even though I'm for Somerset, I like to see a good game. And those two there, man. They're in the under 19, and I'm really impressed with those two.
Yeah, Luke and like I said, have been around cricket. I think all of us here have been around cricket quite a bit, and I think those two youngsters are, I would say generational. For some of these guys coming up, like how we had like Malachi's with my age group, Terry growing up, you kind of saw that these guys would grow into, good professionals. And I feel like those two have the temperament. I don't think they realize how good they are yet. It's kind of that youthful, I guess, arrogance. You're just going through your game, and it comes off for those guys, and it shows the hard work they put in, on and off as well. Yeah. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that. And to your point as well, that's also a discussion we're here at St. George, just kind of having those nucleus, not necessarily one, but if you can have like 2 or 3 at a time.
Exactly.
And not look to make, so many changes throughout the years, just to, you allow guys to get used to the scenario, get used to the feeling of the cup match, because to your point, the guy may not score one year, but, on that day, that Friday, it may just be their day. And, that experience is definitely something that I feel has helped me keep throughout the years. Yeah. So I'm more than sure for these youngsters to get that repetition, as any cricketer would like, would definitely make their job easier coming through the years.
Yeah.
Thursday morning, you walk out to the middle with your good friend. I have to take the toss. What's that banter like?
And remember, you guys ain't playing for Bay now. See, he's your enemy. Your friends are off it again.
No. I'm got his number blocked this week.
Oh, you're not playing for the squad either, because I know you guys talk a lot during the squad too. So
so this week, it's my club roots this week, 100%. So as a friend, I wish him all the best health wise. I don't, school-wise, that's a different story. But, I look forward to you guys. I look forward to a good 2 days of cricket. I know he's a cerebral cricketer. He thinks the game. I like to think that of myself as well and some of the guys around me. So just look to put a good game together the 2 days for the spectators, and hopefully have some success that Friday afternoon.
Yeah. Well, again, we wish you all the best. Hopefully this is the year that the cup changes hands. But also, as Doc has said, and as Terry has said, looking for a good 2 days of cricket. And I think with the two teams picked, people will be entertained yet again over the 2 years. And Doc, don't bring the rain when you come.
Hey, man, I don't want no rain. One day, Mr. As a captain, I'm sure, Senior, that's the first thing when I was captain for Somerset. I always look at the weather like a week before to see. And you rain and something.
30 minutes. I feel like
but Cindy, Somerset don't rain every time down St. George. It's somewhere during the game. It's gonna rain, man. I don't know why.
It's always country. Ask Mr. Frey. It rains in St. David sometimes and nowhere else anywhere else. It's always
man. I know. But like I said, being owner, even if it does rain, the game will continue. But we just hope that if you get a nice full day and full 2 days, and everybody enjoys themselves.
100%.
I would say enjoy every bit of the moment. I know this week is always going to be a tough week because you have so many commitments, and you got the training and the a whole host of other things outside the game. But it comes down to Thursday morning. And getting your team together and understanding what a plan is and sticking to the plan. You have an A and a B, and one of them's going to work for you. All right?
Appreciate it, Mr. Basin.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, fellas.
Okay, Cindy. All right,
we'll take another commercial break, and when we come back, we'll wrap up this edition of the Island Stats Cricket Show.
All right.
We'll be right back.
Beneath the cloud blue sky, where the ocean meets the land, and the long tails fly in Bermuda. Our hearts belong to this beautiful island. As an island, we are strong, proudly Bermudian. In every single way, from the sunrise to the sunset, and proudly Bermudian. Digicel is proudly Bermudian. Digicel is proudly Bermudian.
You ever crack open a Coke and just... perfect.
It's that cold, classic hit that never lets you down.
Whether you're chilling with friends or just need a break, you can't go wrong with Coca-Cola.
Coca-Cola.
Nothing else compares.
Proudly distributed by Butterfield and Vallis.
Mary Prince Day and Emancipation Day is a call to remember and a reason to keep pushing forward. Mary Prince gave voice to injustice. Through her courage and testimony, she became a powerful example of resilience and resistance. Her truth still echoes across Bermuda, reminding us of the strength in our history. This cup match, let's celebrate more than just the game. Celebrate the freedom, the fight, and the foundation. Lindo's, why go anyplace else?
And welcome back. Well, Doc, you touched on it a bit with Sinclair about the St. George's team. Terry, any surprise with the selection of St. George's?
No, not really. I felt that the boy Luke and O'Brien had fairly good seasons. O'Brien, we know O'Brien he's a talented player with a lot of potential and has been on the scene for a little bit. So I wasn't surprised that he was in contention for one of those spots. The boy Luke, again, he was reserved last year, and and has been burning quite well this season. He's had a pretty successful season, so there's no real surprise with those two. Matter of fact, that's two good picks for St. George's actually for the future.
Yeah,
definitely.
Exactly.
And you still got the boy Fulton to come back in once his injury free.
Yeah.
So, they got three good boys, youngsters there that's got loads of potential, and the whole level at it too.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. I know there was some talk about Anais carrying an injury. I don't know how bad that is.
He's had a bit of a shoulder, which has prevented him from bowling for quite some time. He's had a shoulder injury, but outside of that, I don't know too much about any other injury.
Yeah.
No, I don't know anything about that either. But
Yeah. All right, Doc. Prediction time. Give me your prediction.
Hey, there's two good teams. If Somerset don't mean it's going to be a draw.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's your prediction, Terry?
I'm on the same level as Doc. Both teams are fairly stable teams. St. George's got to build Somerset up twice.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, like I tell everybody, right? Cricket is played on the day. Both teams, Somerset still have to go and play.
Yes.
Yeah.
And they have to be solid in doing so. And then of course St. George's got all of it to do.
Right. We're only about a 2-week period away from what we saw at Lord's, where Bayless Bay got knocked down for 106 and Flats went for 96. Cricket's played on the day, as you said. And we go back as far as Western County, where Somerset Bridge beat Willicott.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So cricket is played on the day, and you just hope that.
I mean, we guys are always talking about that as coaches. That no matter how prepared you are, no matter how good your team is, you still
exactly. and that's what I said. Don't care if you got 1,000 runs before you go play cup match. If you ain't prepared properly, if you ain't getting your nice grass, you ain't drinking water, come cup match with all those people around, and then it only takes one ball to get you out. I don't care if you make how many runs. So it's on the day. You got to be prepared mentally. You got to stay focused. You know what I mean? And it's one of those things like, and not So what I liked about Terrence betting yesterday, man, like even though they were chasing a big total, and those guys were in the sun for at least 4, 5, 6 hours. Yeah.
Right.
But those two guys, the opening bets that came out there, was Terran. I can't remember who opened, but
Amari.
they have who's that? Amari. Yes, I hope I forget him. He batted well too. Those guys really batted pretty good. Being that they just came on the sun, they really batted well. One thing about yesterday, Wicked played good, but like I said, it only takes one ball to get you out.
Right.
And they really got behind the ball. And when you look, they had like 80, 90, like a 90, 100 run partnership. So it goes to show you like on the day, it's just sometimes like on the day when you're playing on a wicket, these guys just go back to what they were doing before. Sometimes you got wickets that the wickets wet or slow coming off. You can't play your shots. Right. Yesterday was one of those wickets where you could go in, you could play your shots, stay there long and bet. Suburb on the same thing. So like I said, those guys really batted well, and there's like Terrence, like in my opinion, is like his like a big day player. Or one of the days, at least one of the days he gets runs. Kamal Lavrock, the same way he batted. A few other guys, they all look, pretty solid yesterday.
Yeah.
Well,
it's all about managing risk.
Yeah. And who performs it best? Yeah.
And we talk about this all the time. It's the fielding too, man. Like, my thing is, whoever makes the least amount of mistake on the field, I'm talking about like run-outs or catches. So like sometimes, and if two teams pick like this, it's going to win that game because you have to hold your catches, man. And there's a little run-outs where you say, oh, I just missed the stump. Sometimes you hit them. And prime example, India, I went to the test match, India and England. The captain Ben Stokes ran that guy out, and that's what. Look at that. That's what won them that test. Changed the whole team around. So that's what I'm saying. Like there's important things like that there, and with a little luck too. Like sometimes you got to have a little luck in the umpire's decision or something things like that there. But it all depends on the day, man. And like I just like to wish the whole 22 guys the best of luck because. It's going to be thousands of people watching them. Not everybody's going to, perform. It's going to be some people that's going to have, like I wouldn't say bare accomplishments, but not where, you probably want to make runs or take wickets, but it's not all the times you're going to do that. So, they just got to. Look, my only thing is like, just enjoy it.
Yeah. Hopefully, it's an enjoyable 2 days.
Yes.
Both on and off the field.
Exactly.
Yes. There you go.
That come and enjoy what's being performed in front of you, and for the players on the field, enjoy what's going on. On the field, take note of what's going on off the field because you're actually entertaining for those people who have spent a lot of money to come and watch you entertain.
Exactly. So, that's why they say multiplayers. Hopefully, they're on their best behavior because this sometimes is showing around the world, man. We have to be at our best behavior. I mean. Sometimes we don't like the umpire's decision, but I think still at the same time, you still have to walk. In my opinion, you never know who's watching. It could be a scout. I don't care. For the younger players, you never know, man. You have to be on your best behavior the whole time. And it's not just people at the games, like I said, watch all on TV, man. People look at stuff like that. They know when good players, I mean, like. I used to do that when I play a couple of stuff. You always say like you're not out, and sometimes what about the times when you you nicked and you're not out? So it's it's that time where like I mean like I just hope that everything goes well on the 2 days, and players please be at your best behavior.
Yes, because you're representing your club.
Yeah,
and your community,
and your families,
and your families,
and your families. Thank you, Terry, and your families. I always tell my boy trades that hey, you have to represent your Amanda's family.
Well, gentlemen, I want to wish you both a happy cup match.
Yes, thank you.
We'll be back next week Sunday, and we'll see if we can get whomever holds the cup to come and join us and talk about those 2 special days of cricket at the Wellington Oval. So
Yes, sir.
all the
Thank you.
best. Enjoy
Yes,
the week. Enjoy everything. Because I see you two here, I don't want to see your two boys betting together. But if they do, it'll be early.
And well, if you think about it, in most cases, those two, somewhere on the two, they always bet together. Somewhere they're going to bet together.
Yeah.
So,
Well, I'm telling you now, I'm hoping that they don't bet as long as the show. So they.
well, I tell you what, if they bet longer than an hour, it's gonna be difficult getting both of them out.
Trust me, I know. All right, gentlemen. Well, enjoy.
All
right.
All
right, cool. All right.
All right.
Yeah.
Right.